good morning. It's Tuesday, March the 26th. I'm back home. We got back from the cruise yesterday and thought I would play a basic strategy here while I talked a little bit about our results and some of the highlights from our cruise. All in all, it was a great time. I really enjoy cruising. I know some people are fans, some people are not, but just happen to be one of those that enjoy it, and I think my wife also enjoys it. But we had a really good time. We were on the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady out of Miami, and there was a storm that came through and created some conditions that did not allow us to get into one of our ports. So we did not get a chance to get over to the small island of Bimini where they have a private island, and they have very nice pools and beaches and very nice setup, and they have like a lunch cookout. But unfortunately we're not able to make that with the weather. But I did play 2 sessions of CRAPS, and I can give you a very quick update on that. Very quick update. It did not go well, but that's okay. I think I learned a lot, and it really helped to get out and play at a live table with the nervousness and being able to understand what was going on and listening to the dealers and the other players and how they interacted. A lot different than just sitting in front of a screen and rolling. But anyway, my first session, when I went to the table, there were only 2 players at the table. So I watched for several minutes, and this one shooter that was at the stick man's left, the very first position to the left of the stick man, I watched him roll probably 15 times. He was doing very well, and I knew I did not want to jump in until the puck was off, and eventually he hit his point and the puck went off, and I was able to put $500 on the table and get some chips. So I then waited for him to establish his next point, which I believe was a 10. I did take a few notes here. It was a 10. And I asked the dealer to set me up 220 inside. And she kind of looked at me like, hey, this is a $10 table, but she was more than accommodating. She set me up, and I have the 220. My thoughts were to hit once, regress down to 66, and then play the collect and press strategy. So I figured this gentleman had rolled probably 10 or 15 times already. He knew what he was doing. He was setting the dice. He was taking his time, and he was doing very well. So I felt very confident and very comfortable, but nervous because I had $220 sitting out on the table, which until you're used to it, it can be, they're chips. I know they're not dollars, but I look at them as dollars. Those were 220 of my hard-earned dollars that I was taking to the cruise to enjoy, and I planned on losing it. So anyway, I believe his first roll after he established his point, and I was set up. I think his point was a 10, so I got set up. I was looking for a 5, 6, 8, or 9, and I think his first roll was a 12. I remember that distinctly. It was a 12 because I thought, well, here we go. I knew the longer he rolled, the sooner, the bad number would come. And I think after he rolled a 12, he rolled a 3, and then he rolled a 7 out. So it didn't take more than 3, maybe 4 rolls, and I was down $220. So, and I figured that, and I played several times on Crapsy where I'd hit a quick 7 out, and I'd be able to come back and fight my way back into a profit. But anyway, he was done with his roll. They moved the dice over to me because I was to his left, and asked me if I wanted to roll, which I quickly said no. I just want to watch someone else roll and place bets out after the point. And so they took the dice and moved them to the player to my left, who happened to be on the very end of the table. And he had a lot of chips in front of him. I mean, a lot of $100 chips, a lot of $25 chips. I don't know how long he had been there, but I figure he was also a good player, so I wanted to get in and try to get myself out of this hole. So he was one of those players that would play all the bets. He would play the C&E. He would throw the stick man some chips and ask for all the hops or all the hard ways and hop the 5, and he was doing all kinds of stuff. So waited for a few minutes or so. He finally rolled, and I believe he established a point, which was a 4. So again, I put 220 down inside and watched him roll. I think he rolled a 10, and then I think he hit his 4. And I think his 10 was a hard 10 because he was very excited because he'd hit the hard 10. I think he was putting $25 on all the hard ways. So he got pretty animated and was hollering out some encouragement words and hit the 4, and the puck was moved off the table. So I didn't hit any points on that roll, but the puck was off, and I had to wait for another point to be established. So same roller, same shooter, and I believe he also was playing those the all, the tall, and the small bets. So I think he already had the 10 and the 4 covered. So he was kind of talking about that a lot, what he needed to do and how he was going to hit it and everything else, which was great. It was good. It was good energy, and I was feeling a little relaxed with him. So I think his next point, I believe, was a 8, and since the puck was off, I did not win that. So I had to now try to hit another 5, 6, 8, or 9 in order to get a $70 win, and then regress down to 66 inside. So the point was now an 8, and I think he rolled another hard 10, to be honest with you, and he was getting paid, and they had just moved the dice over to him, and he had picked them up, and he was getting ready to set the dice and roll, and another person came up to the table and put money on the table, and the stick man asked the dealer to stop, and he pulled the dice back, and the shooter, let's just say the shooter was not happy. He made a couple comments, not only to the dealers, but he specifically called out the person who walked up to the table and basically told him, "Look, man, I'm in the middle of a roll. Don't interrupt my flow." All kinds of stuff. So that took a few minutes to get the new player to convert his cash into chips and get him ready to go. And he never even put a bet out. So he got his chips, and then he sat there and watched. And the shooter got the dice back, and believe it or not, he rolled a 7. He rolled a 7. He yelled a few more words that we don't want to repeat here. And he told the dealers that he wanted to color up and he was going to leave. He said he was not going to play at this table anymore. So the bad side of that is I'm now down another $220 without hitting one number yet. So I'm down 440. They move the dice over to the new player. He does not want to shoot. They move them back over to the guy who was to my right. He decides he's leaving also because he doesn't want to play with all these interruptions. So the dice come back over to me, and I figure, what the heck? I've got $60 in front of me. I took another $100 out of my wallet, asked him for some chips, and I put $10 on the pass line, and I decided to roll. So I'm already deviating from my strategy, and let's just say it doesn't get any better from this point on. My first roll at a live table on a casino on a cruise ship, one of the dice went off the table. One dice hit the back wall, one dice flew up over top of the table, and needless to say, I was a little embarrassed, but they gave me a new dice, a new dice, and I proceeded to at least hit the back wall with both dice, and I believe I was able to roll a 5. So the point was a 5. Now, I have no money on the table except for a pass line. So I tell the dealer, I don't have 220, I want to play 66 inside. So this dealer was a very, very pleasant, I think, Asian woman, Chinese woman, spoke very good English, and she basically told me, you know, this is a $10 table. Why don't you put $10 on the 9, put $12 on the 6 and 8, and then take that other $10 and put it as odds behind the pass line, and then try to work your way up to the $66. So already I'm taking the advice of the dealer and do exactly what she did. I put $10 behind in odds behind the line. I put 12 on the 6 and 8, and I put $10 on the 9. So, and I rolled, and I think I hit the 9. So I think I won. I think I won $10 on that roll, which I quickly collected because I am trying to dig myself out. And then I rolled 2 or 3 more times with no luck. I think I rolled a CRAPS 3, and I think I might have rolled a 4, but then I rolled a 7 and out. So I won one bet, $10, and now I have lost almost $300, over $300. So not doing exactly what I was planning on doing. So those bets went down, lost those bets, and the new guy that came to the table, he decided to roll, and I did not play. I watched him. He was definitely new, just like I was, and he rolled maybe 3 times and 7'd out. They sent the dice back over to me. I told him I think I'm done. They talked me into, come on, you got to try one more time. So I did. I went ahead and put $10 on the pass line, and I rolled. I want to say it was a 10, and I was able to put 44 inside, basically. $10 on the 5 and the 9, $12 on the 6 and the 8, and I think I hit an 8 on my very first roll. Won me $14, and I think I took 10 of it, and I placed it on the 4, and I had $4 left. And I remember watching some videos, and I decided I'm going to put a bet on the table for the dealers and try to get Lady Luck on my side and get them to help me out. So I took the other $4 off my $14 win, and I asked them to put $1 on the 5, 6, 8, 9 for the dealers, which they were very appreciative and thanked me. And unfortunately, they didn't make any money off of me because I rolled a 7 out. So at that point, I said, I think I'm done. I don't want to lose everything on the very first session. I want to have a little bit of money left for another session. So I'm already down almost $500. And I think I was at the table for about 30 minutes. So I ended up leaving, spent the rest of the day doing things on the ship. and decided I might play later that night. Oh, I also wanted to mention that this ship, the Scarlet Lady, had opened up a World Poker Tour poker room, and they were going to have a tournament that night with live dealers, and they actually had real tables back in a private room. And I was thinking I might just take $80 and play the tournament. So later that evening, my wife and I went and watched a show, which was very good. And after the show, I decided I was just a little too tired from all the jet lag and everything going on, and I decided to call it a night. So anyway, first session was not what I expected. Second session was not any better. I won't go into a lot of details. I ended up losing $240 on my second session. At one point I did have a few hits and was able to get the 4 and the 10 covered also, so I had all the numbers covered, but just could not get past, I think I might have rolled 6 times was the most I ever rolled. And I never really saw anyone roll what I would consider a monster roll, 20 or 30. But anyway, that was pretty much the extent of my first try at the casino craps game. I'm not upset. Of course, I'd like to have won, but I expected I would be nervous, and I was. I expected I would make mistakes, and I know I did. But I look forward to maybe going back to my local casino here in Columbus and either playing live on their tables or maybe playing some stadium craps where all the odds and the calculations are all done for you automatically. And even if you make a mistake on your bets, it doesn't really matter because they calculate right to the penny. So anyway, I've just been rolling kind of randomly here, playing inside, and why can I play on Crapsy and be up $187, go to the casino, and after 3 rolls be down $400? Just doesn't make sense, but it is what it is. So anyway, I'm at roll 22. I think I'll end this here, maybe 1 or 2 more rolls, and then I'll go ahead and get this posted so everyone will know how I did on the cruise. So anyway, hope everyone's having a good Tuesday, and I really appreciate you watching these videos, and I have seen a lot of comments, so keep those comments coming. I do read them, and we'll go ahead and end it here. So thanks again. Have a good day.